So a lot of us in the homeschooling world talk about wanting to raise creative kids. Kids that think outside of the box, that don't come up with a standard solution for a problem. We want these kids to become our future innovators. So how do we teach our kids to become creative, or how do we raise creative kids? So it turns out we don't have to create creative thinkers in our homeschools because they already exist. So a few years back, NASA did this study to try to find all the creative geniuses that worked for them. People that they wanted to think outside the box, to come up with some solutions to things that weren't your stereotypical solution. So they hired a guy to do this, and he did such a good job. They actually did a lot of research on it. And for 15 years, he studied the idea of a creative genius. And it turns out that when children are little, 4 and 5 years of age, 98% of them are considered creative geniuses. Now that changes as we age. By the time these kids were 10 years old, only 30% of them were creative geniuses. By the time they reached teenage, 15 to 16, only 12% of them were still considered creative geniuses. By the time these kids made it to 30 and 31 years of age, an adult, only 2% of them would be considered creative geniuses. So as it turns out, we aren't creating creative geniuses, we're actually stifling creative geniuses. So how do we not stifle our own creative geniuses? Well, it's pretty easy. We encourage them to be creative. Now I know, if your kid is into fine arts, like art or music, it's easy to see, oh, well, we'll encourage that. But does that really help a kid who isn't into the fine arts? Well, anything you can do to help them think outside the box in playing. For example, take away the instructions to the Legos and see if they can build something different than what the Lego instructions said to do. Or for example, my daughter recently asked to take a technology course. So we found a coding class from MYTEK Labs. I never thought of that being a creative outlet, but she so enjoyed it because she started learning how to do pixel art. She started learning how to do things in a way she'd never thought about. And she was so excited because she created something that was part of a game, something that she loves to play. See, creativeness doesn't come from one particular place. It can come from all sorts of different sources. Think about what your kids are interested in and help them to think outside the box. Help them to come up with solutions so they become our future innovators.